All right, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another communication challenge. I'm psyched. You're still moving forward in this challenge. I love it. This is going to be a big help, a game changer, not only through the challenge, but the things that you're working on habits. You're working on things that are getting you to look at how you communicate a little bit differently, and that are going to help build healthy, productive habits for you as you move forward in your communication growth and skills, so that you ultimately have more impact, more fulfillment, more influence at work, more success too, by the way, and all the other great things that come along with it. So this one today, all right, this is going to be another good twist, and it's going to involve looking inside again. Okay, so much of this is predicated on, you, who you are, where you want to go as a person. That's why this one's really crucial, okay? So I want you to dig your heels in for a few minutes, pay close attention, and really give this one some thought, not only today and then the next day or so, but as you move forward. This was one of the most important ones in this sequence of communication challenges that I really want you to think hard about and focus and work on, because it will make a difference, all right? So let me dive in. So if I was to ask you what your purpose is, what would your answer be? What would you say? Do you have a response? Think about that for 1 second. What is your purpose? And if you want, if it helps, you can go so far as to say, what is your purpose in your career? Ask yourself that in terms of the work that you do. All right, so the wheels are turning a little bit now. See, here's the thing. Most people, when they get asked that question, and I ask people this all the time, and I have several years of experience now in seeing how people, individuals, how groups of people respond to this, most people don't know how to answer that. Most people don't have a clear answer for what their purpose is. So why is this relevant or important to the communication challenge? Well, I'll tell you. Because when we are clear in who we are, what we do, how we do it, and the value that we bring to others, it shows through so much and so strongly in our day-to-day communication, and it does so in an effective way that draws people to us. All right? So think about this for a second, right? Think about that person that you work with or worked with who was always kind of unsure, not only about like what they did, but who they were, what their role was, what they were going to do for work or to produce, or how they were going to get something done or get back to you, right? There's always somebody around. It doesn't make them a bad person, but there's always usually multiple people in a team, in a group, in an organization, in a business who struggle with that, who always have this air of uncertainty around them. I'm not sure. Let me think about that. They're in meetings. They're not really clear on, how to respond to something. Okay, think about those people. Now, are you drawn to them? Do you want to always rely on, go to, and even trust people who are uncertain in who they are, what they do, the value they bring? Then flip it around and think about that person or persons who are really clear on who they are, on what they do, on how they do it, on the results that it brings, the outcomes that they deliver, the value that they offer, the problems they solve. Think of all those things. When somebody's very clear on who they are and what they do, people naturally gravitate. People will gravitate to them. Those are the people who get picked for promotions. Those are the people that others rely on, that others go to when they have a question, when they have a problem. All right? And obviously, what comes in results with that is more influence, more impact, more money, more growth in your career. Right? Which most of us want. If you're part of this challenge, if you're watching this video, you want impact, you want growth, you want to see your career trending up. All right? It's not just about money. Money will come. Money's part of this. You are going to earn more money the more impact you make, the more value you provide. But that comes naturally as a result. You are trending upward because you're clear on what you want, on who you are and what you do. That's what we want to get you to. All right. So part of the communication challenge, all right, I really want you to, soak this one in and think about this one beyond just this week. All right. What is my purpose? Part of being a great communicator, and I saved this one purposely, it wasn't the first or second challenge offered, but part of being a great communicator, and this is one of the biggest principles that I learned as I wind down this message for today. One of the biggest principles that I learned about great communication is you got to have clarity in who you are. Listen, it's the difference. Some people can BS and talk their way through anything, right? But there's very little substance behind them. We all know people like that too. And at the end of the day, here's how I look at people like that. And they come from all backgrounds, all ages, male and female, all different experiences, industries. I've seen it in so many different industries. But people like that, they survive, but they don't thrive. Okay? They survive, but they don't thrive. They get by. They keep their head above water. They'll always have a job, but they're never going to be the person that others want to go to because people know there's no substance. There's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of people who can garble their way through anything. They talk up in meetings just to be heard, but there's not a lot of substance behind it. You want to be the person who is clear in the value that you bring. And by the way, I'll throw in this other little nuance and twist that people don't talk about enough. Is that when you have clarity in who you are, you also know what not to answer. You also know what not to respond to. And you also know when to ask for help. That's so important. We have got to be comfortable to say, I don't know, I'll look into that, or I need help with that. That's the kind of culture you want to build in teams. That's the kind of culture you want to bring yourself as a great communicator. So clarity, this is clarity in who you are, what you do, how you do it, and the value you bring is so important to being a great communicator. It's a must. And I learned this over time. I would never have known this clearly. 10 years, forget it. 10 years ago, not at all. Even 5-6 years ago, I was starting to get a picture of this, but you know, in my work the last few years, I've really come to be 100% clear on the clarity that we all need. And I see it in people I work with. I see it in my coaches. I see it in people that I model after. Everybody that I follow, even my virtual mentors online, who I primarily follow online, every last one of them are 100% clear on who they are, what they do, how they do it, and the value that they bring to the world. They're 100% clear on that. That is a given across the board. It's something that I model and look for in terms of people's patterns. So listen, ask yourself that question. What is my purpose? And if you don't know, that's okay, because a lot of people don't know. But I want you to do the work and think about what it is you need to do to help get clarity in your purpose. What is it you need to do to help get clarity in your purpose? Because when you have that clarity, you're going to be a much more effective communicator. And part of what I do as a coach is I help people get that clarity so that they then can communicate effectively. All right? And listen, I'll just say, you don't have to work with me. It doesn't have to be me you work with. If you need help in that area, if you need help, work with somebody. Do something so that you get clarity in your purpose, and it's going to help you become a great communicator. All right? So I want you to think about that question. And I didn't get to this, but the second part, even if you're not sure, write down several things that you believe it may be. Take a stab, write it down, you know, and here's some tips. Think about what you enjoy, think about what you're good at, and think about like ways you brought value in the past, okay? Think about what you enjoy, what you're good at, and ways you brought value to teams, to peers, to coworkers, to your management in the past that, you know, has made a difference on a project or in an initiative or whatever. That'll help give you some clarity around what your purpose may be. Doesn't mean any of those are your purpose. It's a little bit of a bigger process that can be done in a short amount of time, but just get them down on paper, all right? Think about what your purpose is. So critical to you being a great communicator, all right? Let us know what questions you have. Comment, share your experience around this exercise. What is it that you're writing down? What are you finding? Are you struggling to have clarity to even write anything down? Where do you think you fit? Or maybe you might know your purpose and share it with us. We'd love, comment, send it in to us. I want to know what your purpose is and what we can build off of so that you can be a great communicator, all right? This is a big one. This is an important one. I can't wait to see some of your responses. Thanks again for taking part. This is only going to help you build more of the career that you want. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.